Hello, hello, and welcome to my stamp studio. Happy Hump Day. Today is Wednesday, April 5th, and you are in my stamp studio. So thanks for joining me today, and I'm just getting up our live feed here, making sure everything is good. Let me know what you're having for lunch today. Let me know if you're here. And as soon as I get this feed going and I can see people joining, I will start the video. I'll start the class. So today is 311. Well, what is 311? You're probably wondering. Well, 311 is 3 cards, 1 layout, 1 stamp set. I don't know. I thought I'd do something new for a change. So I'm just I don't see my comments here. So if someone could post a comment so I know that people are here. Yeah, so 311 is 3 cards, 1 layout, 1 stamp set. And the stamp set that we're going to be featuring is Nothing Better Than, and we'll also be using the coordinating dies. So here is a stamp set. This is a retiring product. A lot of the products I'm going to be using in today's video are retiring, and they're going to be while supplies last. So let me pull in some of the products that we're going to be using today. So we have our Nothing's Better Than, and then Love You More Than dies, and we'll be using this to cut out some of our images here. We're also going to be using the Hive embossing folder, and that is this. Now, I've already done the embossing. You can use whatever embossing folder you have. Does not matter. And then as we go through each of the cards, I'll show you the different colors that we'll be using. So let me get to our layout here. And this is our basic layout. I'm sorry, I have things off to the side here that I'm pulling in. All right, so let's just move this out of the way for the moment. So we have a piece of basic white cardstock. This is thick basic white. We'll be doing a vanilla one as well. But this is 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5 1/2. Right. Then I have a piece of basic white. This is 4 by 5 1/4. And then I have the second to largest scallop in our layering circles dies. Now this is a staple that you need to have. I'm just saying. And this is retiring. I'm so bummed out because I use this all the time. So I'm using the second to largest scallop and the second to largest circle. And that made these 2 shapes here. I'm then going to bring in 2 strips of designer series paper. So let me just pull in 2 strips here and, 2 or 3. It depends on what you want to do with your card. But for right now, I've got 2. All right. So this basically is our layout. So let me just put it on there. I didn't adhere everything together right now. This is going to be our layout. Super simple, really quick, and you can do it with any stamp set, and you can make multiple cards at a time. So I'm just going to show you 3 different cards using, again, this same stamp set. So the first thing that we're going to do, I actually have a 3rd piece here. I'll get that one later. I'm going to pull in my designer series paper. So I'm pulling in the brights and the neutrals. Okay, so I'm just grabbing designer series paper that I have. The 2 colors that I'm going to be using for this card are Coastal Cabana and Early Espresso. Both of these colors are staying, so you don't have to worry about those. But this designer series paper, every year it retires. They come out with new color families and new designs for their designer series paper. So let's just grab a little piece of Early Espresso here and a piece of Coastal Cabana. I'm going to cut these down to be 1 inch. So I'm just going to bring in my trimmer here. So I'm going to do 1 inch wide, or 1 inch, 1 inch wide. So I can cut both pieces at the same time here. All right. And now I'm going to turn this and I'm going to cut it at 3 inches. So I could actually do 6 cards at a time with this kind of layout. All right. All right, next thing we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and just adhere our embossed cardstock right to our card front. Maybe, if my liquid glue comes out. Okay, that one's not working for some reason. We'll just grab a different one. All right, there we go. Oh, this one's got a big glue gooby on it. So hold on, let me just clean that off real quick. There we go. All right, and you can use your Seal Plus, whatever your adhesive preference is. I'm just going to give that a good press. All right, now we'll put this aside and we're going to do a little bit of stamping. So I'm going to take a scrap piece of basic white paper and I'm going to pull in my stamp set here. So I already happen to have it out. It looks like I'm missing, oh, here we go. Oh, 2 more pieces fell off. Okay, here's the other one. Oh boy. Well, here's the other one. There it is. Okay, we're going to be doing coffee on this card. So I'm going to grab out this little image and this little image. Put that aside. Let's go ahead and put one on each block here. And the first thing I'm going to do is I am going to stamp in Early Espresso. I'm going to stamp 2 coffee cups. Oops, that was a little low. We'll try that again. I'm going to close that up. Grab our Coastal Cabana here. Now, this is a filler image. So I'm going to look through my stamp here and I can see where my detailed image is. I'm going to zoom in just a little bit here. Wait for my camera to get adjusted. I'm going to look through my stamp here just to line this up. Now, this is not going to line up perfectly, so don't worry if you don't have it perfect. It is totally fine. So I'm going to do one in full color and then one stamped off. All right, we'll go ahead and clean our stamps here. Where's the other one? Just so I can get them put back away. All right. Now, the other thing I want to do is I'm going to stamp on my circle here. And I'm going to take, okay, my little things are not sticking there. We're going to do a day without. So I'm just going to stamp in my Coastal Cabana here. A day without. And now, we're taking another little strip here. Day without. I'm going to take my next stamp here. And this says, is like, just kidding, I have no idea. But all I want is the is like. So I'm going to take my is like, I'm just going to ink it up here. I have a scrap little piece of cardstock and I'm just going to stamp right there. All right. And I am just going to cut that out. So. Okay, and I'm going to end up putting it on there. Let's get our pieces cut out now. So I'm going to bring in my mini die cut machine here. And I will grab the little coffee cup dies. And I can zoom back out now. I'm going to bring in my little coffee cup die. And I'm also going to bring in the word coffee. Now, you could stamp that. If you don't have the die cut machine, you can stamp coffee. But I'm going to use my die cut machine. And I'm going to pull in a piece of Early Espresso here. And let's go and get this die cut. So, I don't need this giant piece of paper here, so I'm just going to trim that down. And we'll put it through on this side so you can see what I'm doing. So I've got these 2 coffee cups to cut out. Now, I've got this to cut out, so I'll put this over here. I can cover that little piece there. There we go. Just set this down. Now, one thing I've noticed with this smaller die is sometimes it bounces around. So I like to take a piece of Post-it note tape and just tape it in place. You could use washi tape. You could wing it. So we're going to run this through. And then I'm going to go back and cut the other coffee cup out. So now I've got my coffee here. I've got one of my cups. And let's get our second cup here. All right. So what is everyone having for lunch today? What are you doing on this Wednesday? So glad it's midweek. Week's almost over, right? I have not figured out what I'm having for lunch yet. Hello, Becky. I guess I'll be figuring that out as soon as we're done here. All right. And let's see, where's my dies? I don't want to lose this, so I'm going to put it right back there and put my coffee right back there. All right. Let's get assembling this card. So sometimes when you have these small little dies, your little pieces don't come out. Just go ahead and take a pick tool or your little brush here and poke those out. You can, again, use a little brush to do it. Grilled cheese sandwich. That sounds really good. How is the weather out by you? It is incredibly windy here today. All right. I'm going to go ahead and just adhere these 2 together. So I'm just going to grab some seal over here. Now, one of the things I could have done is I really probably should have used my adhesive sheet to run that through the die cut machine, because it's going to be a little challenge to get my liquid glue on there. But we'll manage. Okay, a day without. And I'm going to put my 2 coffee cups here, but I'm going to pop those up on dimensionals as soon as I find where I put my dimensionals at. Here we go. $88 today. Oh, how amazing is that? All right, so I'm just going to kind of tilt my little coffee cups here. And I'm going to adhere my coffee right there. So I have a, I bought this on Amazon, and I just fill it with my liquid glue. Just so I have like a needle tip here. And that one seems to be clogged. So let me grab my second one here. Hopefully this one is not clogged. All right. There we go. And I'm not going to put it everywhere. I'm just going to put some little dots to kind of hold it in place. And again, those adhesive sheets would have been so good to use on this, and I didn't think about it. So day without coffee. I'm not really centering that. I'm just putting it on there. And maybe I won't even put that on the front. Let's just check it out. So day without coffee, and then we've got our 2 strips of designer series paper here. So we're just going to alternate those like that. Okay, so we'll go ahead and put those down. I'm just going to use some, we'll just use our liquid glue here. What I love about designer series paper, it has 2 sides, so I can use whichever side floats my boat for the day. I'm going to happen to use this one here and this one here. Go ahead and pop this up on dimensionals. All right. I'm going to put this off to the side just a little bit. And I want to bring in, we'll use some Oh, let's use our crumb cake from our Essentials Baker's Twine here. And I'm just going to make a little bow real quick. All right. Okay, now, so Stampin' Up! Right now has their last chance products out there. So if there's something that you want, go check out the list that I put. I did put it on my website, just for the fact Facebook won't allow me to post it on my page. So it's on my website, but you'll see a link on my page for it. So I'm just taking a little glue dot there, putting this right on front. A Day Without Coffee, and then we'll do the I don't know. We'll go ahead and do it in early espresso. So open up the inside of our card. Stamp this right in the middle. Then I'm going to come back in with my coffee cups again. And I probably should have a little scrap piece of paper here. I'm going to start with stamping my cup in the middle. And then I'm just going to randomly add cups across the bottom. Just like that. We'll pull in our little filler. You get the whole shebang today, inside and out. All right, so then we're going to just look through our coffee cup and stamp these. Let's stamp this one off. And notice I stamp every time. When I stamp off my paper, I need to make sure that I re-ink my stamp so I get the color that I want and not just a goofy line on there. All right, so that is our first card. We can add some embellishments to it, but you know what? I think it's cute just like this. But if you really wanted to do something, grab some whatever embellishments you have. I just happen to have the basic rhinestones here. And there it is. There we go. Okay, first card. All right, let me get out our next card here. Oops. This little stinker does not want to stay in place. I'm going to have to really clean my stamps here to make sure I don't lose any of them. There's nothing worse than losing a tiny little stamp, let me tell you. All right, let's get our next thing. I'm going to cover this so it doesn't get clogged. All right, move that off to the side. And we are going to do a vanilla one this time. So again, we've got our card base here. So I've got my thick vanilla, 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5 1/2. A piece of Very Vanilla here, embossed. So we'll go ahead and adhere that down. Now some of this other, I have taken the liberty of doing some of the stamping and everything ahead of time, just so our video wouldn't be so long. And why is every glue that I have today just kind of all jammed up? So let's grab a handy dandy little safety pin. Just poke that through. I don't know why they're all clogged up. There we go. All right. I like to make sure when I'm using a thick or a 3D embossing folder that I really make sure I adhere that down well to my card front so it doesn't pop up. All right, there we go. So on here we have, again, our scallops. These are in Very Vanilla, so we'll go ahead and adhere those two together after I stamp this. So this one happens to be about chocolate. We'll be using soft suede and crumb cake, very monochromatic card. Soft suede is a retiring color, just to let you know. And let's see, so I've cut out the word chocolate already using early espresso cardstock. So I have that done. I need to bring in my scrap piece of vanilla here. And I'm going to bring in the 2 pieces of chocolate. So I have one that is, let me show you with the box here. One that is a detail and one that is my filler. So I'm going to stamp my detail first, and I'm going to stamp that with my soft suede. I'm actually going to stamp 2 of these. So we've got 1, 2, clean that off. And now I'm going to come back in with my crumb cake. I am going to stamp off though, because this is kind of dark. So let's stamp off once, and then I'm going to look through the stamp there and kind of line it up. Okay, little chocolates. We'll run this through the die cutting machine. And through the magic of TV, oh look, we have it done already. Okay, let's go ahead. We're going to be putting our chocolates right on here. So what I'd like to do first, before I stamp on this one, is I'm actually going to lay out kind of where I want my chocolates to go, where I want my word to go. Now I can stamp my sentiment, and this time I think we'll grab the today's plan, consume, and then we'll have chocolate. So let's get out today's plan. Oh, this guy does not want to stick where it's supposed to. All right, so either does that one. All right, today's plan, where is it? Okay, why am I not seeing it? Oh, here. Today's plan, consume. There we go. I'm going to stamp that in my soft suede right at the top, just like that. Okay, now that I've got that stamped, I can actually adhere my circle to my scallop. So do that real quick. There. Just lay my chocolate down. I'm not going to adhere it yet. I will go ahead and put these on, and I'm going to go ahead and do that with dimensionals. I can flip that over. So this one has coffee, chocolate, and cocktails. What a combination, right? I thought about doing one card with all 3 things, because, you know, some days it's kind of hard. But maybe I'll add that on my blog. All right. So here we go. Here's one set of chocolates. And here's my second set of chocolates. I'm going to tuck that one behind. There we go. Maybe offset them just a little bit. There we go. We'll add our chocolate on there. Grab our adhesive here. So when I laid that on there, I noticed that my C was kind of off to the side a little bit. So I'm just going to make sure I get part of the letters. All right. Okay. Again, you could stamp the word chocolate on there. It would be just as cute. We can pop this up on dimensionals. And we have another 2 strips of our designer paper. Just trying to figure out which way I want to go with those. Just like that. Again, same kind of thing. We're just adhering those right to the front. I'm going to offset my scallop to the side just a little bit. I'm not really measuring that. I'm just putting it down. Put this right on top. And we'll go ahead and take our crumb cake essential baker's twine again and make another little bow. You know what, this time I think I'm going to do it a double bow. Yeah, let's try that. Let's see how that will turn out. If I can get these straight. All right. All right. Bring in my scissors here. All And we'll just put that right off to the side, just like that, using a glue dot. What did I just do with my glue dots? There they are. They were hidden underneath the baker's twine. All right, so I'm just going to roll my little glue dot here into a little log. We'll put it right here. And then we'll just put our little nut right there. There we go. And for the inside, all I'm going to do is stamp one of my chocolates. Just kind of finish off the card, and I'll leave it for something else later. All right. Let's go ahead and bring back in our crumb cake here. We'll stamp that off a little bit so it's not so dark. Now, your colors do look a little different when you're stamping on vanilla, so just be aware of that. Okay, but they still turn out great. All right, so that's our second card. Let's get to our third card, and it's almost a half an hour. We're almost at time. Okay, our third card. Now, I did do a lot of the prep ahead of time because I knew this would take a little bit longer. But I'm going to show you how I did it. So I have my basic layer again. Oh. Okay. And I have, this time, 3 strips of Designer Series paper. I'm using Mango Melody, a retiring color, Bermuda Bay, a retiring color, and then Flirty Flamingo. So I'm going to just be putting those whatever order I want. I've decided to use all the same pattern. All right. And now, okay, I have that. Where did my circle go? Well, for some reason, my circle and my scallop are missing. So I'll have to run one through really quick. Oh, I don't know where it went. And my little magic thing keeps going off. Sorry. It's like whenever I move anything, that thing will go off. It's magic here all the time in my stamp studio. You need to stop. There we go. Okay, let's grab some cardstock here. I mean, some of my. And you know, as soon as I end this video, I will find my scallop and my circle. It never fails. Okay. I need my circle dies here. You know what? I am just going to, I think I had a circle out here already. Let's see. Where'd it go? It's like all the things I'm thinking I have out here, they're all like gone. I don't know what happened to them. I was nice and prepared. And maybe I'm too prepared. All right. Again, it's never alive with my stamp studio unless something goes wrong. Just saying, that's how this works. Okay, come on. I gotta make sure I have all my little pieces over here too. All right, well, we're gonna change it up. I'm just gonna use a punch this time instead of the circle. Let's see. Ooh. We'll use our decorative circle punch, and I'm just going to take a piece of white right here. So we're just kind of cutting out one step. I don't even have to pull out my die cut machine then. I will, but all right. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to take our scrap piece of paper again. This time I'm going to stamp with black memento ink, and I'm going to take my cocktails right here, and I'm going to stamp 3 of those. So I'll just do 1, 2, 3. Now, I am actually not going to color in all of them. I have that already done, but I'm going to show you how I made my pieces. So here are my finished cocktails. So you can see those right here. I also die cut the word cocktails out of Bermuda Bay. And now I want to show you how I stamped. I'll just stamp one of them, and then you can get the general idea. So I have my pumpkin pie here. I've decided that I was going to make the little lime or lemon wedge a orange wedge. So I'm going to take my It's a small little stamp, right? So what I like to do when they're a small little stamp, I put them in the corner, and that way I can just tap gently on my stamp pad, and then I can look through and stamp my orange. Okay, so there we go. There's our orange. And next I'm going to grab my cleaner because I'm getting ink all over my hands. So let's grab this. My block was full of ink. Okay, we'll close this one up. And now I'm going to pull in my Bermuda Bay. I'm going to grab the little filler for my glass. Now, you could do cocktails, you could do lemonade, you can do whatever you would prefer. I'm doing cocktails, though. And a scrap piece of paper, where did it go? All right, this is a pretty dark color, so let me show you how dark that is. It's really pretty dark, so I wanted to stamp that off. So I'm going to go ahead and put my first one in right there. And then I'm going to do it with other colors. All right, so now the next thing I have is a tiny little umbrella. So again, I'm putting that on the corner of my block right here. And I'm going to grab my mango. Oh, let's grab our Flirty Flamingo here. Ink that little umbrella up because you can't have a tropical cocktail without a little umbrella in it, right? All right, so just like that. All right, so now, after I've stamped all of them, then I'm going to go ahead and die cut them out, and there is a die for that. So how awesome is this? This die will perfectly cut out that whole thing. So you lay it right on there, just like that, run it through your die cut machine, and you're going to end up with some awesome die cut pieces. So here they are, just like that. Okay. Move this off to the side, and we'll get to assembling our card as soon as I get a couple things out of my way. All right, so this, pretend it was the scallop circle and circle. I'm just going to use this one. But you know, I want to brighten that up a little bit. So I lied to you. You don't have dies. You can fussy cut everything. You can use your punches. So I've got a 2.5 inch circle punch here, and I'm going to take my most favorite color, which happens to be mango. That's one of my happy colors, and I'm so sad that it's retiring. If you don't have that color, oh, you need to get it. I'm just saying, it's a beautiful, bright, happy color. It makes me happy all year round. It really does. So sad to see it going. But there are some other fun colors coming up. But this, yeah, I actually stocked up, bought some extra cardstock and my refill for it, so that I will not be without it. All right, so I'm just going to put that right behind there. It just adds a little something. And then we'll change the order of that designer paper. So let's get this in here to the front. I'm running a little bit longer than I was planning on. Okay, so I've got that in front. I've got my, I'm just going to go ahead and wing it now. Right, and this is going to be, what did I stamp on the other ones? What did I do with the other cards? I put them off to the side. Oh, here we go. So a day without coffee, and today's planned consume. And I know what I wanted to put on this one. So there is a really fun sentiment that says, because adulting is hard. So, because adulting is hard is what I was trying to say. So I'm going to take my, because adulting is hard, I'm going to actually take a little scrap of basic white, and I have a whole bunch off to my side here. So I've just got a scrap from when I die cut things, or when I cut down my card, layers, and I'm just going to take Bermuda Bay, stamp my sentiment right on there. And we'll trim that down right there. Okay. And let's just add our things to the front now. So I think we're going to layer it just like that. Well, you know what we could do? We could just spread it all out. So again, it's one layout. It really is, but I'm just playing around with where I want to position things. So I think that looks good. Let's go ahead and adhere those all together. Here's one layer. Move that over a little bit. We'll put our Bermuda Bay, slide it right underneath that one. And then we'll take our mango, slide it right underneath our Bermuda Bay. There we go. Take our dimensionals and pop up our circle here. Okay. Come on. Peel that one off. Put that right there. Okay. And I'm just going to put cocktails right there. And I'll randomly put my cocktails here. Well, I don't know. Maybe we'll put 2 of them here. I felt like I needed 3 cocktails. Okay, so that's what I'll do. And we'll put cocktails right up on top. All right. So just changing the layout around just a little bit. Still had the same basic layout, but now just doing a little bit of creative expression, as I like to call it. Just letting my mind kind of just play around with that layout. And even though it's the same layout, I'm making it just a tad different, just by changing up my colors, where I'm positioning things. I lost the little dot to my eye, so oh well. And we'll get this one adhered. Put that right down here. We'll pop these 2 up on dimensionals. And then we'll put, because adulting is hard, right below that with dimensionals. Now, when I do this, I'm putting my dimensional towards the bottom because I want to have that top part just overlap my circle just slightly. And this is the way I can do it. Okay, maybe if that backing wants to be out of here. All right, because adulting is hard. Okay, so those are our 3 cards today. Hope you love our 311 projects. Lots of fun to do. Again, you can use this same layout with any stamp set that you have. Any stamp set, any designer series paper. So I'm going to bring in the other 2 cards here. So we have our day without coffee, today's plan, consume chocolate, and cocktails because adulting is hard. So thanks for joining me. I'll see you all tomorrow night at Stampin' Fun and More at 6:44. If you're watching this on YouTube, all the information will be in the description. And yeah, you can check out my newsletter by signing up for that. Also, if you give me some thumbs up and send me some like, subscribe to my channel so you're notified when I put videos out there. And Facebook followers, thank you so much for being here. I will make a list of everything that I used today, and I will put that in the comments of this video. All right, take care. See you all tomorrow.